Book 1, Law of Salimi, Chapter 31, Continuous Improvement. During the third semester, I had put the last-minute study method into practice in order to test its effectiveness. A part of the high amount of subject hours, I acquired the following result: Accounting 3, A-, Arabic language, A+, Mainstream English 2, A-, Microeconomics, A+, Principle of Public Relations, B+, Business Statistics, A, Basics of Islamic Studies, A-. My GPA is 3.76 and my CGPA is 3.89. Hours earned is 21 and the total cumulated hours is 53. My third semester result was slightly lower, but I still managed to keep the top rank of the best students list of business study program at UiTM campus Manggatal. In addition, I also managed to stay above Surazli and obtain A+ for microeconomics from the lecturer who never gave an A+ in her life. Moreover, more of my classmates started to climb the rank and qualified for Dean's List Award. It means more students managed to improve their academic performance, which was part of my goal in the third semester. Nonetheless, my ultimate goal was the pursuit towards improving my study method, which could be benefited by other students all over the world. From the result of my third semester, I would approve the last-minute study can be effective as long as the student had a full understanding to all of the topics for each subject. It means you need to be fully prepared and be able to understand everything in the subject before even be able to effectively implement the last-minute study method. Notwithstanding, the method could be rather high risk because if the students are not adequately prepared, the method might not work and it might cause panic attack for the student. Hence, I do not recommend the method to everyone except those who truly understand the subject fully and completely. For the fourth semester, I managed to improve my notes further with certain chapters were summarized to a half page of A4 size paper. In addition, I also began to remove my own examples so that other students are required to write their own example based on their own understanding. It helps to customize the notes further in accordance to each student who uses my notes. At this stage, each student could take approximately 15 to 30 minutes to read my notes for a single subject. This managed to drastically improve students' ability to understand each subject. Moreover, the tactics also had improved towards becoming more of study smart concept. Instead of pushing for hard work by doing practice up to 200 pages or more for each subject, during the fourth semester, I began analyzing the trends established based on the past examination questions. After doing practice with past examination questions, I began to sense that there was a pattern being applied to the questions, which might be possible to be detected. As a result, the trends became more apparent to me and I started to develop a checklist to plot the trend for every subject. For example, the trend might indicate that Chapter 1 for a particular subject appears for 3 objective questions, 2 short answers and 1 essay question for every year. If the trend remains the same, it means that for this semester, it is very highly likely for the same trend to repeat itself. By knowing this knowledge, it is highly recommended for students to focus extra effort reading, studying and practicing Chapter 1 for that subject because it has very high chance to appear in accordance to the yearly trend. A part of that, some essay questions from certain chapters might appear only once for every 2 years. This knowledge of trends can determine whether it might appear in the final examination for this semester or if it shouldn't appear based on the trend, Students might not need to practice on the essay section for that particular chapter. This ability to know which question might appear and which might not help me to study smart by focusing on certain topics more than those that might not appear in the final examination questions. As a result, I do not need to practice as much as before, but I manage to utilize my study time more effectively and efficiently based on this study smart method. Later, during my 4th semester studying at UiTM campus Manggataw, students started to implement the trend method, while those who were close to me simply photocopied my trends list for the subject. This tactic managed to enhance the efficiency of study method, with higher accuracy of predicting which chapters might come out in the final examination questions. The trends analysis method also managed to predict the possible quizzes and test questions based on the previous notes from senior students in the business study program. The use of this trend analysis was also implemented when I was teaching students at a certain private college. Thus, this method has very high probability of accuracy in its prediction. Nonetheless, students are advised to study every chapters for a subject because sometimes the trend might be changed by the lecturer or the university, although it rarely happened. This method enables you to effectively focus your effort towards important chapters while avoiding chapters that might not appear in the final examination. In doing so, you manage to improve the efficiency of time management to utilize your study and reallocating your time to chapters according to its importance. The application of this chapter helps me to utilize my study time effectively and efficiently. It gave me a lot of free time to pursue other knowledge outside of the classroom, especially visiting the great scholars at UiTM campus Manggataw. During the 4th semester, I love all of the lecturers teaching my subject. I do not have any problem with any of them because all of them were very helpful in answering my questions during or after classes. The lecturer for the subject of finance was very creative in his method by introducing 1-minute quizzes during class, which was very helpful on keeping his students being aware of his teachings and every chapters in his class. I was amazed by the effectiveness of his 1-minute quiz, which later led me to develop a 30-second quiz for my own students when I was teaching as a lecturer. All in all, I would say that trend analysis method was very effective towards my study tactics as well as very beneficial for other students who implement them. I do not need to spend too much time practicing away every chapters, which avoid from exerting efforts that might not contribute towards answering the final examination questions. Moreover, efforts were refocused towards more important chapters, which improve overall academic performance to any student that implement the trend analysis method effectively. The result for the 4th semester were as follows: Arabic language 2A, Macroeconomic A-, Fundamentals of Finance A, Fundamentals of Insurance A, Fundamentals of Marketing A. My GPA is 3.93, my CGPA is 3.90. Hours earned is 15 for this semester and the accumulated total hours is 68. It was not easy to sustain a 3.90 CGPA. However, it was rather easy for me when the lecturers were very helpful and were passionate about sharing their knowledge with students, especially one who loves asking questions during class like me. For that, I am very grateful to Allah the All-Knowing for granting me to experience such blessings to learn from such great lecturers. Nonetheless, I was also very grateful to Allah the Almighty for granting me to experience the opposite side of the spectrum during my 5th semester studying at UiTM campus Manggataw. Without the experience of what was good and what was bad in my life, I would not be able to distinctly differentiate the two with absolute clarity. In order for me to make such experience into one of my core elements when I became a lecturer at the age of 25 years old. Anyway, it seems that ends the chapter 31, and hope to see you again in the next chapter. Thank you very much for listening and watching the video, and see you again in the future video.